Look here, the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness. Holiness means without sin and separate, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may be, or I'm sorry, that they may teach the young women to be sober. So that means be a good example before the younger women, to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient. Here you go, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. Wow, looky there. It didn't say one thing about you women. Make sure that you have on long skirts. Make sure that you have healthy diets. Don't ever have chewing tobacco. This ain't about that, but it did say you to obey your husband. That's like a child better obey his parents. So the wife better obey her husband. I want to ask, y'all got a problem with that? Obey your husbands. How many of you women obey your husband? Those of you who have a husband who belongs to Jesus. How many of you obey your husband as Jesus, or as the children obey their parents? Not many of you, but you know that's a standard of the women of God. Did you know that's the standard? That's the rules. Did you know that? Obey your husbands. Because if you don't do what this thing says, then you blaspheme the word which you say you belong to. This generation don't like that now. They don't like this. How many of you women get mad when your husband says something you don't like? How many of you start getting, boy, just steaming? And then next thing you know, that mouth pops off and you get to running your mouth against your husband. Did you know that if you belong to Jesus and that happens, all the husbands got to say, Lord, will you please help me in this matter? That's all he's got to say. And you're fixing to find out. How many women have ever learned that lesson? Guys, this Bible's way different than what your little fake church system is. I've been telling you. I've been trying to tell you for a long time. You better obey your husband. Your husband is the head. And that is all that means, with authority. Your husband is the authority of the household, like it or not. You are not. You are to submit in full submission to your husband. Your husband is the boss. And your husband better be the boss, whether he likes it or not, because that is his command. Rule your household. Rule. This is not a democracy. I don't know where y'all get off. You want a household of God? There is no democracy. There's no voting on nothing. Whatever the boss says, the boss just spoke. That's the rules. The man is the head of the household, and that's it. All right? The woman is the head of the woman is the man. The head of the man is the Lord, and that's the order of God. If you don't like the order of God, well, then you got a problem with God. Just receive the truth and stop trying to be a person that's going against the truth, or you're going to find yourself in a bad situation. You'd be wise to submit yourself to the word of God in everything you do. In everything. You better stop having opinions on things and start saying, well, that's the rules.